Let's go and do a quick review for evaluating functions, because the thing is, once students understand evaluating functions, but then we move to composition of functions, or we evaluate with expressions, or get into inverses, a lot of times students forget the basics. So I want to do just a quick little review for you when I'm teaching inside the classroom and I recognize students are having trouble remembering what it was about evaluating functions. I always kind of go over this quick little lesson. So here's a function, f of x equals x plus 5, and just a couple things to remember. F represents the name of the function, like Francine, or Frank, or it could be a g of x, an h of x, anything, right? This inside these parentheses is going to be what we call our input value, all right? Because remember, a function has an input as well as an output. Whatever we plug in, we're going to get something out. Now, what's going to dictate what our output is going to be this expression over here, or also what we sometimes call our rule. Now, when we plug something into our function and we get something out, that's going to be the output. But again, it's all dictated by exactly this rule. So let's kind of go through some examples. And again, we'll start with something that's fairly basic that most students understand how to do. And that'd be like f of 3. We like having the numbers, and most students just remember, okay, whatever the variable is here, wherever it shows up in the rule, you just replace whatever's here with that in the rule. And that's exactly it. It's pretty easy peasy, and you can just go ahead and now evaluate. 3 plus 5 is going to be 8, and we get that, right? And we do multiple examples, and it's kind of like, it gets redundant, and we're like, all right, I understand the process. But then we start changing things up, and this is where students, they understand what to do, but they just get confused with it. So one thing a lot of times we're going to talk about with like even odd functions is plugging in f of negative x. Now again, same process is going to apply. Unfortunately though, our output is still going to be an expression, but that is okay, all right? You're still going to simply replace your input value, wherever it comes in your rule, with whatever's inside those parentheses. So in this case, it's going to be a negative x plus 5. Now, a lot of times, again, I always keep those parentheses in there. Now, we don't really need the parentheses, right? So we can just leave this as a negative x plus 5, or we could even rearrange this as 5 minus x. It's all the exact same, okay? But I put the parentheses in there just to remind myself that is what I'm plugging in into the rule. Now, let's go and expand upon this. Now, I'm not doing anything elaborate or any hard expressions, but again, what if I choose my input value now to be an expression like x plus 1? Students hate this, especially when we're doing, rational functions or polynomials or radicals. But ladies and gentlemen, the process is exactly the same. Watch what I'm doing. I'm plugging in an x plus 1 and then plus 5. Now in this case, once I remove the parentheses, because I'm just showing that to remind myself that's what I replaced my x with, which was x plus 1, I now recognize here I can combine my like terms, right? 1 plus 5 is going to be 6. So my final output is going to be an x plus 6. And that will be my final result. Now, number 4 is where we really want to get to the good stuff. What if I have like f of g of x? Okay, now we don't know what g of x is, right? That's another name of a function. It could be Gerald, it could be Genevieve, doesn't really matter. All right, now I will create a g of x, but let's just say we're looking at f of g of x. What would that look like? Again, following the same process, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be g of x, okay, plus 5. And that's it. We don't know what g of x is, right? But we're just going to have to write it in as part of our output because we're replacing our input value with whatever we put inside for that function. Now, let's have a little fun and let's pretend our g of x here is going to be the expression 2x plus 1. Well, now, since g of x is equal to 2x plus 1, I can replace the g of x in here with a 2x plus 1. So therefore, I have a 2x plus 1 plus 5, right? Again, you can still show that, hey, I'm replacing g of x with 2x plus 1. And then I can combine my like terms, and that's going to be a 2x plus 6, okay? And then the last example, which again is something that will just confuse students all the time, but again, is something that's going to show up, and you're going to see this notation, is going to be f of x. And basically what that is plugging a function into itself. But again, how does that look? Well, again, we know f of x equals, where is it? X plus 5, okay? But before we get to that, let's just show up what it looked like. We're replacing x with f of x, so that's going to be an f of x, put that in parentheses, plus 5. Now again, what does f of x represent? F of x represents our x plus 5. So we go back over here and we write x plus 5 plus 5. Then we recognize, hey, again, I can combine my like terms, right? And I'm doing extra steps with the parentheses, guys. You don't need to do that all the time, but we get a final answer of x plus 10 is going to be our final result. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is a quick little review that I like to do with my students for evaluating functions to help build them up as we get into composition and inverses and all the good fun stuff that comes with composition. So hopefully this video was helpful for you. If you want some more videos on polynomials, compositions, and evaluating functions, then check out my description or the video I have for you now. Cheers.